want me to be. Your power, please have mercy on me. Your power, please have mercy on me. Your power. Be what you want. Your power, please have mercy on me. I wanna be what you want me to be. Please have mercy on me. Show not easy, I have a shot. Nowhere to escape, hear the desperate cry. The Christians say they wanna crack the sky, but I wait patient on the king who come. I wanna be brother when I walk through the gate. I get tired when I think about a snake. Why they wanna try us? Why they wanna be fake? Yet I think I make a soldier. 3 is gold, 10 life a man. Divorce on.
All right, Mashpaka. Shalom. 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 All right, I'm going to go ahead and begin reading at Isaiah. And then I have a couple of news stories that I want to share with y'all. And I want to go ahead and discuss this topic. But before I do, let me let a song play for y'all. The old song I had wrote back then. Well, not I, but let me let this song go ahead and play for y'all, and I'll be right with you.
Smart cat with a cool Mac. Smart cat with a cool Mac.
Yeah.
Smart cat with a cool Mac. With a cool Mac. With a cool Mac. It's your boy. Cool cat. It's your boy.
You know what, man?
Cool cat.
Anybody.
It's your
can be a
boy.
cool cat. All you gotta do is follow the rules. Follow the rules. I'm the cool cat. I'm the cat that stays cool. You know the golden rule is to stay in school. I'm the cool cat. I'm the cat that stays cool. I never feel the pressure and I can't be used. I'm the cool cat. I'm the cat that stays cool. You know the golden rule is to stay in school. I'm the cool cat. I'm the cat that stays cool. I never feel the pressure and I can't be used. You wanna know my name? That's cause I'm smooth like ice. They call me cool cat. And no, I don't chase mice. Yeah, I get straight A's because I'm up on game. I got medals around my neck and that's the price of fame. Many dogs, they hate me. Many girls, they love me. They wanna see me dance.
All right, fam. Shalom. I'm sorry for that. Had to take that call. But I want to say shalom to you for your consciousness, AA Awake. Thank you for coming. I'm going to go ahead and discuss this thing about the Washington, D.C. and the people that is actually that's being affected by this. Okay, so first of all, I want to make sure that a lot of us that don't stay in Washington, like I'm not, know where in Washington that Donald Trump send out troops out there. So and I think they got to go through a vote, but I don't know if they went through a vote with this. But we're gonna listen to the news broadcast. Make sure y'all check out the channels underneath this video when this is over, and go and subscribe to their channel and press a like on their video. Make sure you watch it all the way through if you have the time. But let me go ahead and let this play for you. This is the maternal rate in Washington, D.C. All right, and this was done years ago. It wasn't done recently. So this was done, I believe, when Obama was in office. So listen to this, fam.
The infant mortality rate is 6 times as high as the infant mortality rate in Ward 3.
Alicia McGregor is talking about Black women who live in Ward 8. She's an assistant professor of health policy and politics at Harvard and wants to hear from women who've recently given birth in Ward 7 and 8.
We're trying to better understand how individuals living in Southeast DC, Ward 7 and 8, are accessing obstetric care in the wake of recent obstetric unit closures in the district.
In comparison to other parts of the city, access to adequate health care in those two wards are limited. Earlier this year, ground broke for a new hospital in Ward 8, though it's not expected to be completed until 2024. Years McGregor says mothers don't have to wait.
At the moment, There are no hospital level obstetric services in Southeast DC. As a matter of fact, east of the Anacostia River. We're interested in learning about patient experiences. How are patients accessing prenatal care? How are they accessing care at the time of delivery? And then how are they navigating and accessing postpartum care?
They're asking people who've given birth since 2018 or later, who are over 18 years old, to participate in their confidential study.
Within the district, the Black maternal mortality rate in Washington, D.C. is among the highest in the country. Hopefully, what we learn in this study will help to, will really show us where those gaps exist and where we can ultimately fill those gaps.
In hopes that one of the wealthiest cities in one of the highest income countries can find the solution to eliminating maternal deaths. In Southeast D.C., Megan Rivers, WUSA 9.
Ward 7 and Ward 8 lead D.C. in violent crime and homicide. Both are home to large U.S. parks, which are patrolled by the U.S. Park Police. It kind of makes sense that U.S. Park Police take some of their officers here at Fort Circle Park in Ward 7 and start to stretch out onto the streets. Here's the boundary, here's the park, and here's Ward 7. So the big question is, will the feds take their officers deeper into D.C. on patrols? The I-Team wanted to ask Ward 8 Councilman Trayon White and Ward 7 Councilman Wendell Felder what they think, but we couldn't find them, and their offices didn't respond to our requests for interviews, so we asked the folks who live here. Do you think it's a good idea for U.S. Park Police to put some of their officers out here on the streets in Ward 7 to do some patrols?
I think so, sir. I like Ward 7 better than Ward 8. You know, I've been around here about 26, 27 years.
Is it dangerous here, do you think, or not?
Oh, I say it's Wild Wild West.
Last month in Ward 8, a 3-year-old girl was shot to death while sitting with her family in a car parked outside her house. A tragedy President Trump mentioned during his press conference on the federal takeover Monday morning. Angela Wigglesworth grew up in Southeast and now owns a nail salon.
It doesn't matter to me if it's MPD, if it's Capitol Police, because I grew up in Southeast DC, if it's FBI. Community policing needs to be a part of this. If you have police officers, MPD or not, and they don't know the community, there's going to be problems.
The U.S. Park Police didn't return our calls either. But if this federal takeover to stamp out crime in the district doesn't come to Ward 7 and 8, you have to wonder, why not? For the I-Team, Scott Taylor, 7 News.
Okay, fam. So y'all see that in Washington, D.C., the areas that was affected by this that's being affected by this military takeover is the Negro communities. Okay? That's where they put the clinics at. So y'all know that Margaret Sanger wanted the abortion clinics to be put where the Negroes was at. Okay? And we just heard the sister on there saying, I believe about 9 years ago, she was on there saying that that's what she grew up at. Then you see the other brother say he grew up in Ward 7. So evidently, that's the Negro community. Okay? So, if you ask yourself, out of what community was all of the people coming to work? Who was all those people coming to work inside of the clinics that had these jobs? It wasn't just Negro men and Negro women working inside abortion clinics. The clinics that where they go to murder little babies by order of the law. You know, like where the babies was thrown to crocodiles in Mossrim, and then in America, they were thrown into alligators. And then in America, they were tossed inside of the abortion clinics and massacred in there. So that was institutionalized murder of little babies. Do y'all remember what happened during the 94 crime bill epidemic? And do y'all remember what Bill Clinton had apologized for? Do y'all remember what the other president apologized for when they admitted that the war on drugs was a war on Negro people? All right, and how they put all of those, how they over uh policed the communities. It started one place and it expanded to other places. Now, what is the crime that they're being accused of in these communities? All right, because according to what I've been reading about the arrest and everything in the communities, the arrests have been mainly in our communities, and they said they arrested 400 and something people recently. Okay, let me read that to you. They said they arrested about 400 and something people. So let me look that up. And in a community that they are targeted was just one people. How many people? And I was listening to another broadcaster that did his video, I believe, about 9 years ago as well. He said that Ward 7 and Ward 8 is the black community. And he said that their rent was sky high. And that was about 9 years ago, I believe. Uh, and he was showing the graph that they didn't have no restaurants or no stores and stuff over there like that. How many people have been arrested? And you notice they don't put race, even though race is a big thing in this country. We're supposed to just sign on the application, whether you black or you white, but we can't talk about it in public. It's called, they say, white fatigue or reverse racism when you talk about, but you got to put on your application white or black, or you put unknown, or uh, you can decline to say who it is. And if you put you can decline to say who it is, then people will still may look at you sideways because there have been applications I filled out for am a living witness for loans at the bank using my signature as a United States citizen. I'm supposed to be granted the same eligible rights as other people when I put my signature on something. It's supposed to give me credit as a United States citizen, where I'm supposed to be able to draw out of the federal funds, but I'm not able to draw out of the federal funds. You know what I mean? They escorted me off the premises by policemen, and they frisked me. And this right here was way before 2025. This was like in 2010 or 2011, and it happened again the next year and the next year. And I got tired. I got tired of police escorting me off the premises because I came in there trying to get a loan. I got tired of them escorting me off premises from banks that I was actually banking with. I used to bank with PNC. I used to bank with SunTrust. I used to bank with Bank of America. And I've never been able to access my credit that I'm supposed to have as a United States citizen, which I don't owe no debt. Debt is owed to Negroes in this country, but we're treated as if we owe America debt when reparations was not paid to us, because back then we was considered as property. And as we see that history is in a process and have always been in a process of being overshadowed and rewritten, as of right now, there's people right now claiming that the slave trade never happened, you know. But anyway, how many people have been arrested in Washington, D.C., military? And notice that when the military come, Pastor Kelly alluded to this as well, but when the military come inside, when they inside of America, they have a peace officer clothing And then when they go into war, when they outside the country, they have on a different kind of clothing. So the clothing that they have on is war garb. They don't have on peace officer garb. So when people say this ain't got nothing to do with war or nothing, they coming inside of the community arresting people like um when you when they go and they say they looking for who they was looking for, what they say when them trade tower situation, that's they come in there with military garb on, as you know, treating you as if you are enemies of the state. So they coming into Negroes community in Washington D.C. in Ward 7 and Ward 8, just like the police are over policing in specific areas, and they may have calmed down a bit, but they'll rise up and they'll calm down. I pray that they stay calm down. I don't know. You know, there was one time I was stopped by the police officer and I was walking, and I don't own no car. You know what I mean? I was never able to get a loan to get a car. I was never able to get a loan for none of that stuff. So I would get the letters in the mail. We're sorry to inform you. Uh, you know, contact this person, contact that one. You contact that number. It's a fax number. You could try to send over a fax. Who you sending it to? You don't know who these people is. They won't answer. Uh, so anyway, uh, you treat somebody that's not a citizen like that, right? On paper, it says Black American, but you're still treated like property. And then you have the over policing in the community, police pulling you over, whether if you walking down the road and they ask me for my license and registration, and I ask the officer, I don't know where to grab it from. I don't have no license registration, but I do have an ID. And I wasn't gonna do all that arguing, talking about I'm a United States citizen. I have a right to not say who I am and this and that. I just told them my name, and they looked up my name. They see I ain't have no record. I guess they was looking for somebody because all us look the same, and we can't say that that's racial stereotype, even though I ain't do nothing, but I'm being pulled over like I am, and being told the you know license registration, and I don't have no car, no vehicle that I'm riding in. So why am I being put? Am I speeding? I'm walking too slow, walking too fast. But anyway, how many people have been arrested in Washington D.C.? So here it go. I'm finna read it to y'all. Look at this, fam. There's no, just like what the brother was saying back then. Not there, people don't really take records of this. You over there, and there's a reason for that. That it's not really. But anyway, there is no specific total for arrests in Washington D.C. by military personnel. So the military is not releasing that to you. So that right there, I guess classified information. They're not releasing it to the public, to the United States citizens, or why they under the arrest. Why Washington D.C. are under arrest, and it's not really being released. You have activists that go around to take these numbers and stuff, and some people they make it look like it's nothing going on, so the numbers don't really count out how bad it really is on the stereotype and all that right there. But they give you somewhat of a number. They say, but nearly 400 people, according to people who gave testimony. Not, it didn't come from personnel. It came from the people who give a testimony. But nearly 400 people were arrested after President Trump. Their race is not disclosed, even though Ward 7 and Ward 8 is the Negro community. 400 people were arrested after President Trump seized authority over the city police force and deployed National Guard. So the Negroes that's over police, after they seized the police force, the policeman is not being arrested. it's the people in the community being arrested, right? And according to some witnesses that I've heard giving testimony, they say, Shalom, Sister Naomi, they say that it's black men, and I seen the video as well of somebody put it up there, testimony, that it's black people that's being arrested. Many of them ain't doing nothing wrong. There's another man years back was saying that there was arrested innocent people, and also some people that probably did petty stuff and all type of stuff. But mainly there was arresting innocent people, uh, and all type of stuff. So the police force is not under investigation, but it's the community that's under investigation because they've been over policed and stereotyped. And when you look at uh, where's all the mass shooters been coming from? What communities they was driving from and going to that area over there and going what person what kind of person it was that drove to Jacksonville and did that mass shooting over there. And we lost a sister that used to come to our ministry and listen to our ministry at We Woke Now. That wasn't no Negro that came down there and did a mass shooting down there in Jacksonville. No, but who was the one that went down there to our brothers and sisters over there? I believe it was in Ohio. Mass shootings all across the country. Who was writing these letters saying how they hated the Negroes? But yet and still, even during that time under the Obama, I mean, even under Obama too, because there was a mass shooting during Obama's administration while we was asking for a Negro hate crime bill. In Orlando, there was a shooting that happened, and my cousin was there that could have got shot. But Obama just was passing LGBTQ rights. Then we went down to Joe Biden after Donald Trump had left out of office and before he came back. Then Joe Biden came in. I'm not telling you this by somebody that had to read a book. I'm telling you this by eyewitness. I'm an eyewitness of this. I witnessed our brother and sister giving testimony. We seen the videos. We saw the videos of unarmed Negroes being shot down. We counted numbers down to 1,000 and something that wasn't counted by secret organizations, but it was counted, okay, of thousands of us being murdered. So when you look at this situation of the unarmed, even the officer, it was a security guard, my bad, that was murdered, but there was no Negro hate crime bill passed during Joe Biden and Kamala Harris administration. There was no Negro hate crime bill passed during Clinton and whoever his vice president was administration. There was no Negro hate crime bill passed during the Bush and his administration. Who was his vice president and those people who elected in the office and that was voting on stuff. There was no Negro hate crime bill passed during none of the administrations. But we have always been the one that was under investigation for the allegations that we're making with video evidence. With evidence. They say you're supposed to prove things with evidence. And even though there's evidence of homelessness and there's evidence of biasness on jobs, evidence, even the government admitted themselves of redlining, evidence, even the government admitted themselves of mass incarceration, and it was a war on Negroes and not a war on drugs. Now they're saying it's a war on people going around murdering people. Cool. So we see how this thing going. Now a lot of people, they say, "No, man, stop worrying about that. They got to get these people out of here." See, I understand where people coming from, but there was no hate crime bill passed to protect the Negro that's told to go out there and vote. So you finna go out there and vote. There's no protection for you. So that's why we said, let's try to stay out the way, even if you can't stay out the way, because Botham Jean was just in his house eating ice cream and somebody busted in there and unloaded on him. Even though they locked up the woman, They still didn't pass no Negro hate crime bill because they said racism don't exist in America. There is no extra bill. So even if they pass the extra bill, you can't legislate people hard. So when Negroes say we want reparations so we could go somewhere else, they say reverse racism or all life matters. So no matter what you say, it's a situation that we're going through it. Then when we preach about Deuteronomy, when we preach about other things, they call us a hate group. So everything we do, even if it's reading out the Bible, which I thought was the right thing to do, they still say it's something wrong with what we do. Even if some Europeans do it with us, they still say it's something wrong with what we do. You understand? And it's almost like nobody is speaking. So, fam, do y'all understand the estate? So, when I read Isaiah, I want y'all to have these things in mind. When I read Isaiah to you, keep these things in mind. Isaiah chapter 3. Yeshaya chapter 3. Isaiah is not an Englishman. His name is Yeshaya. Yashaya. It says, the first word, call. For, behold, Adonai, Adon, Yahweh of hosts, doth take away from Yerushalayim and from Yahweh, praise Yahweh, take away from Yahweh the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of winter, the mighty Adam and the mighty Adam of war, the judge and the prophet, and the prudent and the ancient. So he took away the mighty Adam and the mighty soldiers. He took away the soldiers, the judge and the prophet, and the prudent and the ancient. So he took away the military. He took away the king. He took away the priest. He took away the soldiers. He took away the judges of Yasharal. He took away the prophets of Yasharal and the prudent, the righteous of Yasharal and the ancient and the elderly, the elders, the gray beard, the captain, the 50, the niggas, the Nagusi, the Nagadia. He took away the captain, the 50, which is the chief, the military chief, the honorable Adam, the man that's of honor, and the counselor, took away our counselors, and the cunning artificer, and the eloquent orator. I will give Banayam to their princes. Look, I will give children to their princes. So let's look up here. For behold, Yahweh of hosts does take away from Yerushalayim. Did he say Yahweh of hosts does take away from the monkey sitting in the tree? Did he say Yahweh does take away from the Africans in Africa? He said, for behold, Yahweh does, Adonai Yahweh of hosts does take away from Yerushalayim. Now, if you say that there was something going on in Britain, then everybody will focus on Britain. Even though they know that Britain is a part of Europe, they will all focus on Britain because that's the place that is being affected, right? When stuff in Italy, everybody focus on Italy, even though they know that Italy was a part of Europe, but yet and still they focus on Italy. When something was going on with President Buhari in them situation, everybody, even though they know Africa is the continent, everybody was focusing on Ethiopia, which is in the Bible, Kawash. All right? When something was happening to the Falasha, hardly nobody focused on it. They ignored it. When the genocide was going on with the Falasha, which means foreigners, in Ethiopia, or they foreigners in Yasharal or in Yerushalayim or wherever they sojourned at, trying to find water or whatever on the news, they show us as charity cases. Okay, when something was happening with specific people in Africa, they said that Africans is hurting Africans. But when you talk to the people in the continent, they tell you this one is doing this. Why would I put the whole people up as the culprit? We are all one. That's what they say. But the people that live in the continent, they can tell you this one is the one that need to be checked, not the one that's over there, not the tribe that's over there uh burying their loved ones. Hold on, Mosh, because I'll be right back. Let me let this song play for you, or something play for you till I come back. Listen to this.
The infant mortality rate is 6 times as high as the infant mortality rate in Ward 3.
Alicia McGregor is talking about black women who live in Ward 8. She's an assistant professor of health policy and politics at Harvard and wants to hear from women who've recently given birth in Ward 7 and 8.
We're trying to better understand how individuals living in Southeast DC, Ward 7 and 8, are accessing obstetric care in the wake of recent obstetric unit closures in the district.
So, all right, fam. I really got to go. I'm sorry that I got to turn this off, but I really got to go. And if you're hobble willing, I'll come back on here and we can further on discuss this situation. Enjoy the outro. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as you see on the side, as requested by my wife and requested by some of y'all, I put up a donation thing up there. So if ever y'all want to donate, you can either tag on that right there with your camera on the left hand side on the camera, or you can look underneath the video on the chat, and hopefully you will see the links. But family, I'm about to get up off here, and I thank y'all again for coming. And I want to say shalom. I pray until next time.